Pads, baby, let's do it.
Happy Pad Day, everybody. This is the practice that everybody has been waiting for. The fans have been waiting for, beat writers, even the players themselves. This is that practice that a lot of people had highlighted. It did not disappoint either, especially when it came to the running game. The New York Giants, heavy run today. First day of pads, we got to see the linemen go after it. D-line versus the offensive line. Shout out to Justin Pinnock for a fantastic video that he put out on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, if you're following Justin Pinnock, you can go ahead and check that out on there. But without further ado, hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. And also, shout out to all of the people in attendance for Pad Day. Shout out to everybody that was in attendance. So I got to start off today's video, with some sad news. It was confirmed that Bryce Ford Wheaton did in fact tear his Achilles. He is out for the season. Brian Dable spoke at the podium today about the situation, said his heart hurts for him. He feels for him. Guy that does everything right, works hard. Was able to make the squad last year and contribute on special teams. It's just an unfortunate situation, for Bryce Ford Wheaton. In Wan'Dale news, Wan'Dale was held out of practice today. Also, who was it? Burns was a full go today. So, and obviously no real update on Andrew Thomas yet, but he was not participating in practice today. That's not a surprise to anybody. One other thing that Brian Dable said he couldn't wait to see Scatterboo in pads today. This is something that, again, a lot of people are anticipating. They wanted to see Scatterboo in pads, and Scatterboo did not disappoint. Neither did anybody, like really, even Evan Neal. Evan Neal in the pads had a pretty strong day, but we'll get into that in just a little bit. Two other things I want to talk about. It seems like the New York Giants have re-signed Gunnar Olszewski. Everybody remembers him. He was a kick returner. Smith Marset right now is the, the lead in being a kick returner. So I'm curious to see what that means as far as roster and the depth chart with Gunnar Olszewski coming back. Other note, happy birthday to Malik Neighbors. Happy birthday, Malik Neighbors. Hopefully he can celebrate the rest of his day. It was a hot day of practice today. All reports saying it was cooking out there. And again, first day of pads happened to be the hottest day of practice as well. That's the football guys having fun with people, man. So let's get into these practice notes, man. Without, no wasting time. Let's get right into these practice notes. And I like to start off slow in the beginning. For the people that are not familiar, I start off slow in the beginning, just with some practice notes and some facts. Cordell Flott running with the ones again today at CB2. No surprise, he's been alternating with Tay Banks each and every day. One day. They've been switching back and forth with who's going to be the CP2 with the first group. At some point in time, somebody needs to make the move. I don't know when it's going to happen. Somebody needs to make a move. There was a play where Cordell Flott had a nice pass breakup today. I believe it was on a reverse Little Jordan Humphreys. But yeah, at some point in time, somebody has to be the guy. This rotation back and forth is fun. It's a great battle. But at some point in time, we're 5 practices in. Who's going to be that lead guy? Maybe it takes a preseason game. Maybe not. I'm not sure. With Wan'Dale Robinson being out, Smith Marset was the first wide receiver to get some of those slot reps, for Wan'Dale while he was out. Fantastic news. UDFA Daquan Felton was on the side working on the bikes. Not sure what his injury is, but he did not participate in team activities. And that was the UDFA that we picked up from Virginia Tech. And then, now that we got those things out of the way, let's talk about what everybody wants to talk about. And that was, how did the offensive line look against the defensive line? And again, I said it earlier, shout out to Justin Pinnock. It's funny, too, because the New York Giants do some things that make you mad, but also make you laugh at the same time. So when they had the offensive line versus the defensive line one-on-one, or in the one-on-one drills, they made sure that they did it way in the back. Not only was it just way in the back, they also had, the people that were waiting lined up, obstructing the view of the fans. The fans, you should have seen all the videos, people trying their best to zoom in to see, how the one-on-ones were doing, and they really couldn't get a good view. Now, they were able to get some clips. There was a clip of Hudson versus Thibodeau, and you can see that in one of those matchups, Hudson won the rep, and Hudson, by all accounts, Hudson is a mean, trash-talking, violent offensive lineman. Probably something that we have not seen since the dirtbag, Feliciano. And right now, Hudson is not a starter, but we need that type of energy from somebody on the offensive line. Jermaine Illuminor is another one of those guys that can be tough when he has to be. He doesn't seem like that's his natural nature, but Hudson seems like he's that way all the time. Like, we've seen Jermaine Illuminor, we've seen him smile, we see the jokes that he has on Twitter, and stuff like that. But when it comes to James Hudson, he seems like he just wakes up and he's in a bad mood. So, I actually like that. But if it wasn't for Justin Pinnock's videos that he put out, he had like a 5-minute video. It was every rep from the offensive line versus the defensive line. He had them all. I don't know what type of wizardry it was. He was able to get it, but he got it, and I appreciate it, and I gave him a shout out about it too. But it's 5 minutes long. It's every rep. It's the best angle that you're gonna get. Outside of being out there on the field and being on that section of the field, you're not gonna get a better video than what Justin Pinnock put out. And so salute to him for that. And more importantly, the offensive line held their own. The offensive line held up. Evan Neal held up. Now, for the people that were for the unfortunate people that were going up against Abdul Carter, yeah, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. And shout out to Bobby Skinner. Bobby Skinner said when you're watching Abdul Carter, he said the reps really don't even matter unless he's going up against Jermaine Illuminor. He makes everything look easy, and guess what? I'm happy about it. I can't wait for the preseason to start so we can actually see him in real live games against competition that's really trying to go after him. Not saying that our offensive line wasn't trying to get after him. You just want to see somebody different that you're trying to that's trying to block him. Also, once they moved into the team drills, once they got into the team drills, very physical, right? Very physical practice, first day of pads. Heavy on the run. Heavy on the run today, rightfully so, because, again, first day of pads, but you really couldn't get a good evaluation of the quarterbacks. I believe they had Russell Wilson was 3 for 4 in the passing game today. Dart was 4 for 6 in the passing game today. A lot of it had to do with some screens and stuff like that, but I will say this, we were able to see a positive screenplay, something that the New York Giants weren't able to do for so long, and on one of the screenplays, you see JMS get out there and make a good block on, I believe it was Bobby Okereke. So a lot of good work for the offensive lineman today. Jermaine Illuminor was at the presser after practice today, and he feels like the offensive line today won the day. He said we focus heavy on the running game, and usually in those situations, the offensive line wins the day when we're talking about running game. You got guys moving forward, so I can understand that. And he said, we won today. Maybe the defensive line wins tomorrow. So I like the attitude. I think that's cool. But I'm very pleased with what I saw. Especially when it came to Evan Neal playing the guard spot. Illuminor said that Evan Neal is doing a great job already. He's excited to see, what they can do, especially, combo blocks, double teams and stuff like that because of how, just how big Evan Neal is, pause. But, he seemed very excited about Evan Neal. When I saw some of the post practice, videos that people put out, Bobby Skinner said Evan Neal had a solid day. Art Stapleton said Evan Neal had a solid day. So, word around the street is Evan Neal at guard seems to be like a move that made sense. It just took him how long to do it? Because we've been waiting for a while to get him moved inside the guard, and they didn't want to listen. I guess out of necessity, they decided to do it this year. Also, Burns was at the podium today, and one of the best comments that he made, or the best quotes from Burns today, he says, "Yeah, we look good on paper, but we haven't done ish yet." And I love it because he's absolutely right. It's up to us, the fans, to hype up the roster on paper. That's what we do. That's our jobs. The players' jobs, in all honesty, is to make sure that what's on the paper is true, and hopefully they can back up the trash talk of the fans, because right now I'm telling you, I'm not slowing down at all. This defense on paper looks fantastic. There's no reason in my mind that we shouldn't be one of the top defenses in the league when it's all said and done. But to Brian Burns' point, we look good on paper, but we haven't done ish yet. So, it is what it is. I respect that. But again, it's us, the fans, that do the trash talking before the game start. And while the games are getting played, it's up to the players to prove us right. It's up to the players to prove us right. If we're going to talk trash, we need the players to back us up, man. That is a fact. But the last guy I want to talk about, and I left him last for a reason. Everybody wanted to see how Cam Scatterbo did once the pads came on. And everything that we've been seeing for the past couple of weeks, or for the past week without the pads, is exactly what we saw today. Right now, the New York Giants for sure have a running back by committee situation. Each player has its own, I guess, strengths versus weaknesses. But Cam Scatterbo was on display today. He's showing his ability to move around in the pads, popping pads too. Also apply some pressure to the defense. He was not, even though it was like a third practice, he pushed the line. He pushed the line of third practice. He made sure that if you were going to do a third practice, that you had to slow him down. Because if you were just there to tap him and say that he's down, no, he wasn't having that today. So shout out to Cam Scatterbo for bringing some energy to the practice today. But yeah, that's pretty much it today, man. First day of pads. Love that the offensive line held up. Now, I will say this. There was a play where Dexter Lawrence did what Dexter Lawrence does and be disruptive. Tackled for a loss, or it might have been right at the line of scrimmage, but he shed a James Hudson block like it was nothing, walked right through him, and was able to, to tap Tyrone Trey. No, it might have been Devin Singletary on that play. But either way, at the end of the day, Dex is Dex. There's nobody really able to block Dex. It was a funny tweet because somebody said the only person that was able to block Dex retired last year. And he's absolutely right. That was Kelsey from Philadelphia Eagles. That's the only guy I've seen be able to block Dex one-on-one and have success. Was Jason Kelsey for sure. But but other than that, man, a strong practice. They have another padded practice tomorrow. I'll be excited for that. They're probably going to focus more on the passing game tomorrow. We'll see what happens. But again, the New York Giants need to be able to run the ball, need to be able to stop the run. We saw a little bit of both of that today. Happy. But again, keep pushing, keep chopping wood. The grind don't stop, and the New York Giants won't stop. We're back, baby. We're back. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.
Yeah.